We're going to bring in Charles Marino now, and he is a former Homeland Security advisor. He's the founder and the CEO of Sentinel Security Solutions. Thank you for joining us this morning, Charles.
Good morning. Good to be back.
So 1.82 million so far arrested at the border this fiscal year, 182,000 in just the last month. What are your thoughts on those numbers? Because they are big.
They're overwhelming. They're overwhelming to any amount of manpower that you think you can throw at the problem. And it shows the importance of coming up with a layered approach to securing our border. That's needed all the way beginning with communications, effectively stating that we are a nation of laws and that those laws are going to be enforced, and also having processes in place to facilitate legal immigration. And that also includes and addresses the supply and demand issue that keeps coming up regarding workers wanting to come to the United States to provide for their families. So we need effective policies. We've got to communicate that the laws are going to be enforced, and we also need to have the infrastructure in place to protect the border.
Do these escalated numbers of arrests, do they have anything to do, you think, with Texas DPS and National Guard involvement? I know that these numbers come directly from Customs and Border Protection, but I'm kind of wondering if the plan of Greg Abbott, the governor in Texas, to use the DPS and the National Guard to get illegal immigrants to the Border Patrol so that they can then be arrested, do you think that has increased the number of arrests that we are seeing?
Yeah, I'm sure it has definitely contributed to the increased numbers. Do I think it's causing the overall enticement that we're seeing? And I use the word enticement because effectively the administration, by what they've put in place, or more importantly, what they haven't put in place, has altered to a strategy of enticement. And that is, if you make it to the border, your chances are better of making it into the country than being sent back to Mexico and other places from where you originated. You brought up Title 42, which is very interesting, which, this was a very old law, 1940s, based to be used during the pandemic. It's a CDC regulation, not an immigration, to keep the country free of the pandemic. But like you said, what it does is it does not allow somebody to claim asylum, but they're also not being detained. They're just being released. And you have a very high recidivism rate of people that will just continually, under Title 42, attempt to come back into the United States.
Yeah, just to clarify, Title 42 allowed the U.S. government to turn around immigrants at the border based on, worries about COVID and just send them back to Mexico. But what it also did was it prevented those same authorities from arresting the people that had come to the border. They were just sent back across the border. Now, as a result of that, according to the Wall Street Journal, 1 in 4 migrants have tried to enter the U.S. multiple times. Those that tried to enter multiple times in the past would have been arrested. Instead, they've just been sent back, and then they're coming back again and again. And that also increases the record number of immigrant encounters that we are seeing at the border. There's not really a question there, but by revoking Title 42, does that give them the chance to detain more of the immigrants that are illegally crossing? And might it potentially be a good thing, or is this still a bad thing?
Yet to be seen. Title 42 was part of the overall deterrence to be used in conjunction with Remain in Mexico, which is now gone away. So really what's happened is the Biden administration has come in, stood down Remain in Mexico from the very beginning, fought it in the courts. Same thing with Title 42. So what we did not see between the two programs, and this word gets out across the globe, believe it or not, was that these two programs were not being enforced consistently by the administration. So this word gets back to those that have made the trip, have been successful, to those that are wanting to make the trip, saying, listen, there's a good chance that if you make it to the border of the U.S., you're going to get in, because neither Remain in Mexico or Title 42 are being consistently enforced. So it's, again, that layered approach. It's the intent of enforcing the laws, facilitating the legal immigration and border crossings associated with work, and then going into how you physically enforce and protect the border. And that's everything from physical security to technology and utilizing your manpower effectively. We cannot have CBP officers doing administrative functions. They need to be on the border enforcing the law. And I think, it's a challenge. These numbers are very high. They just don't have enough manpower doing only one thing on the border.
Yeah, and The Wall Street Journal is also reporting that via WhatsApp data, they have found that human smugglers are saying the policies are lenient now. Now is the time to come. And that's the enticement thing that you were just mentioning. That is Charles Marino. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.